Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ringside Cinema. I am Money Mike, and today is the finale of my Royal Rumble rebooking series when it comes to the men's Royal Rumble. As last week I looked at the 2004 through 2014 Royal Rumbles. I'll leave a link up here for that one. But today we will finish out with the 2015 to 2025 Royal Rumbles. And then next Sunday, I will be rebooking every women's Royal Rumble ever. So go ahead, hit that like and subscribe button, as I do produce weekly wrestling content here on this channel. And I will be live streaming this year's Royal Rumble on Saturday, January 31st, and we will find out who is going to WrestleMania. Now, let's go back to 2015. We all remember this iconic photo from 2015. It's The Rock and Roman Reigns. WWE was in the middle of pushing Roman Reigns as the next John Cena. Vince McMahon was hell bent on it, regardless of how much the fans hated Roman Reigns. And trying to have The Rock save Roman Reigns to try to get him cheered did not work. Thus, why the confused look on The Rock's face in this photo. So, obviously here, I'm going to rebook this match because let's say the cash-in at WrestleMania 31. Seth Rollins cashes in no matter what. I know Seth Rollins has said before that this was a decision made on the day of. But if the cash-in still happens regardless, then I think it's safe to say it really doesn't matter who Brock Lesnar was facing. And if you watch my last video last week, where I kept Batista as the winner of the 2014 Royal Rumble, the reason I did not give Daniel Bryan that one was because of how well booked everything was leading up to WrestleMania 30, the whole takeover of Monday Night Raw. And so I wanted to keep that build, Daniel Bryan versus Triple H. I wanted to keep all that because it made the story better. But in 2015, it was right. It was the right time for Daniel Bryan to finally win the Royal Rumble in his redemption arc, coming back from injury. Now, I do believe here, number one, we get Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar a couple years sooner than we actually did get this in real life, where I think it was Survivor Series 2019, I believe it was. So we would have gotten this like 4 years sooner, where we would have gotten Brock Lesnar 2015 versus Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 31. You still have Seth Rollins do the cash-in, which would have helped with how popular Daniel Bryan was at the time. It would have gave Daniel Bryan a ready-made feud, and Seth Rollins post WrestleMania, a ready-made feud for not only Brock Lesnar, who is going to be pissed off and wants to get revenge on Seth Rollins, but also Daniel Bryan, and that is going to put more sympathy towards Daniel Bryan to eventually maybe get the WWE Championship from Seth Rollins. So in this instance, Daniel Bryan would be my rebooked 2015 Royal Rumble winner. But don't worry, Roman Reigns fans, I'm giving him a Rumble here in 2016. Because in 2016, the Authority was doing everything they could to try to get Roman Reigns over with the fans, or I should say Vince McMahon was. And the old babyface versus Authority angle, and They tried that, and it kind of worked for a little bit. I mean, hell, even Vince McMahon himself got Roman Reigns cheered at the end of 2015 when we go back to the beginning of 2015 in the Royal Rumble where everyone was booing him. He was actually cheered when he won the WWE Championship after Vince McMahon got involved in the storyline. So 2016, we get to that Royal Rumble. Roman Reigns has to defend the championship inside the Royal Rumble. Now, if it was me, I probably would not have made the Rumble for the championship. It definitely felt forced in the sense that they were doing everything they could to get Roman Reigns over. And Triple H won this match. And for me, right here, okay, I'm making a change as I'm recording this. I said Roman Reigns, I would give Roman Reigns a win here. But no, you know what? Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose to me should have won the Rumble. Triple H eliminated Roman Reigns. If the final two in this match was Triple H and Dean Ambrose. Now, I know Dean Ambrose went on to win Money in the Bank that year, but having Dean Ambrose win the world title or the WWE Championship in this match against Triple H, carrying that into WrestleMania, and let's be honest here, Dean Ambrose versus Brock Lesnar in WrestleMania was very underwhelming. So if you have a case here where maybe it's Dean Ambrose versus Roman Reigns, or, I think you have the two former Shield brothers fighting off at WrestleMania, and we know Seth Rollins comes back from his injury the next month. This easily helps sets up the Shield triple threat match much sooner. Now I do know Roman Reigns gets suspended, whatnot, but at the very least, this does help set up the Shield triple threat, maybe even immediately after when Seth Rollins comes back. So, yeah, I'm changing this. I was going to go Roman Reigns, but as I'm recording this, I'm changing this to Dean Ambrose to win the Royal Rumble in 2016 and walk away with the WWE Championship with Ambrose and Roman Reigns in the main event of WrestleMania 32. Now we head to 2017, where it was Randy Orton who won this Royal Rumble to go on to challenge Bray Wyatt, who won the WWE Championship at the Elimination Chamber the very next month after Orton won the Royal Rumble. So, in this timeline here, in my timeline, I'm going to reverse the order of things because I think Bray Wyatt should have won the Royal Rumble here, and then Randy Orton wins the title at the Elimination Chamber. Thus, Bray and Randy go on to have their match, and maybe Bray turns on Randy Orton leading up to it, and then maybe Bray wins the title at WrestleMania, and then we just forget about the whole Jinder Mahal thing in 2017. Yeah, you know what? Let's do that. Bray Wyatt wins the Royal Rumble 2017. He goes on to face Randy Orton, who wins the Elimination Chamber, who wins the WWE Championship inside the Elimination Chamber, and then beats Randy Orton after the Wyatt family turn on Randy Orton. When Bray realizes that Randy Orton is trying to destroy the Wyatt family from within. And maybe this is where you could include Luke Harper as a triple threat, maybe, because Luke Harper at this time was getting over really, really well within this feud with Bray and Randy Orton. So you could have had Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton, and Luke Harper in this match as a triple threat, not just Bray and Randy, but you could have had a Luke Harper too. And there was a lot of fans that did kind of want to see this happen. So in this case, for me, honestly, I think I would have just booked the triple threat match here. Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton, Luke Harper for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. Bray Wyatt, the winner of the Royal Rumble. The Wyatt family turn on Randy Orton. Luke Harper shows his loyalty to Bray and helps him win the championship. and the Wyatt family is happily reunited, and we don't even go down a timeline of Jinder Mahal as champion. And moving on to 2018, where we saw Shinsuke Nakamura win the men's Royal Rumble here. Honestly, I am not changing that. I think the only thing that I would change is that Shinsuke Nakamura would beat AJ Styles at WrestleMania 34. In 2019, we had Seth Rollins win the Royal Rumble. Again, not changing here. He went on to beat Brock Lesnar for the Universal title. Again, probably the only thing that would change is just Seth Rollins' booking in 2019. 2020, Drew McIntyre, our current WWE champion, won the Royal Rumble in 2020. He eliminated Brock Lesnar. He would go on to beat Brock Lesnar in the Pandemic Mania at the Performance Center. Again, not changing this here. And then 2021, we had Edge. Edge made his triumphant return in 2020. He went on to win the Royal Rumble in 2021, 1 year later, and again, not changing it. That match with Roman, Edge, Daniel Bryan was absolutely incredible. I'm not taking that away. And now we head into 2022. Probably for a lot of fans, the worst year for Royal Rumble winners, as Brock Lesnar won the men's Royal Rumble. I will get into Ronda Rousey winning the women's Royal Rumble that year next week here on the channel. And that was a lot of fun because it was very similar to when I was rebooking the 2004 Royal Rumble, because the implications of someone else winning that Rumble and the person I have winning that Rumble changes a lot. But when we look at the men's Rumble here, obviously we know Brock Lesnar had a title match against Bobby Lashley. Roman Reigns cost Brock Lesnar the match when it was revealed that Heyman and Roman were working together the whole time. They set Brock Lesnar up, and we know Brock went into the Royal Rumble because of that. But we also know Roman Reigns beat Seth Rollins, and to me, I think you could have had Brock still in this match, but had Roman Reigns come into the Royal Rumble, essentially taking Seth Rollins' spot, because maybe you have Brock take out a competitor because he's angry over what Roman Reigns did, so Brock takes that person's spot. But the Roman Reigns has the bloodline help him eliminate Brock, so that way Brock is eliminated. Roman goes on to win the Rumble. Brock gets pissed. He goes into Elimination Chamber, wins the WWE Championship, and we still get Roman versus Brock as we saw at WrestleMania 22 for the unification of the titles. But again, just the idea here that we could have almost had Roman Reigns versus Bobby Lashley, where the fans were wanting to see a feud between the Bloodline and the Hurt Business. Man, that would have been so much fun. But yeah, Roman Reigns, God mode that year. I think he would have, after taking out Seth Rollins and essentially taking his spot in the Rumble, Roman Reigns asserts his dominance over everyone in the WWE by winning this Royal Rumble in 2022. And then we have back-to-back winners, Cody Rhodes, 2023, 2024. I am not changing those because the story of Cody eventually getting to the championship at WrestleMania 40 was so good. Him losing at WrestleMania 39, it made the storyline better for Cody when he did finish the story in 2024. So again, Cody Rhodes, who is officially entering this year's Royal Rumble match, I am keeping him as back-to-back winners in 2023 and 2024 to conclude the rebooking series for the men's Royal Rumble. Ladies and gentlemen, 2025 was Jey Uso. And I'm going to be honest here, and you can see, judging by my t-shirt, Yeah, I'm rebooking Jey Uso. I like Jey Uso. I have his t-shirts. I have his glasses. I like eating with Jey. It's fun to do at the arena. But this should have been John Cena. John Cena has won 2 Royal Rumbles. He would have tied Stone Cold Steve Austin for the most all-time Rumble wins with 3 if he would have won this match. And quite honestly, yeah, you can still do the heel turn at the Elimination Chamber, which at this point probably maybe not even do that at all, considering how that went. But you can still do the heel turn at the Elimination Chamber by having John Cena just win the Royal Rumble, and he says he's going to wait to make his decision. This way, John Cena, he's on that part-time schedule, 36 dates. John Cena finally makes his choice. He says he's going to challenge Cody Rhodes. There's a contract signing at the end of the Elimination Chamber, so we still get the whole, oh, I want your soul, and I want you to make a decision at the Elimination Chamber. So maybe you just have Jey Uso win the Elimination Chamber to go on to face Gunther. I mean, that's what I probably would have reversed it to. But yeah, John Cena to me should have won last year's Royal Rumble match. It was his final year. He would have tied Stone Cold Steve Austin for most Rumble wins en route to tying or breaking Ric Flair's record for 17 titles. It would have been a great way to start the retirement tour and a great way to start 2025. So let me know in the comments below, guys, who would you have rebooked for your 2015 to 2025 Royal Rumble winners for the men's? Let me know in the comments below. And again, next Sunday, right here, I will rebook every women's Royal Rumble ever, starting from 2018 to last year's women's Royal Rumble. And as always, I've been your host, Money Mike, and you've been watching Ringside Cinema.